Fox 17 Rock Interview. I'm hanging out with the talented Bellamy Brothers, one of the top country duos in history. You know, you guys have so many hit songs going all the way back to '75, and it's great to have you on the show again.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so I really want to talk about, you know, obviously the last time we interviewed and talked about things with David and Howard was when we were talking about the launch of the album, 40 years. And so, you know, you guys are doing something very cool with Breast Cancer Awareness Month and with how you're helping Susan G. Komen on this.
Yeah, we have a whole program going on with Susan G. Komen, you know, where we donate $1 from our iTunes sales. You know, and we did a video with 50 of the breast cancer survivors on Let Your Love Flow. You can see that on our website. And it's been a great program, the whole thing.
The video's incredible, David. It's just, it's really, you know, like Howard was talking earlier on the news, to where, you know, it's just, it really grabs you, just, you know, with the video.
Well, that's, you know, they're the real deal. The ladies on there, they were the real breast cancer survivors.
They were the victims.
Yeah, they were, and
the survivors, thankfully.
Yeah, and some of them, you know, are just, you know, Howard told a story about the one older lady that was in the group there. You know, she had such a great spirit. Her big thing is she wanted to come on the road and be a roadie for us.
She was my age. Yeah. She was about this big.
Oh my goodness!
And she was, after several surgeries, she was so spunky. It was amazing.
They're very inspiring.
Yeah, she wanted to be. That was her dream, to be a roadie for us.
Wow.
I said, darling, you don't know what you're asking for.
It's not like the TV show,
No,
right?
no,
It's
no.
not that glamorous.
No.
Well, you know, besides, you know, with the iTunes album also, David, you've also got it with the T-shirt. You've got a special T-shirt that people
Yes,
can
we do. We
purchase.
have the Susan G. Komen Let Your Love Flow T-shirt, yes.
And your wife's been involved in this also, in the whole...
She helped, yeah, she was instrumental in putting the whole thing together for sure with Komen. She contacted them, and she was the major reason we did this.
And what's your website, just so the viewers can find it?
BellamyBrothers.com.
Yeah, with the great logo.
Yeah, can't miss it.
Well, now let's also talk about, you know, you guys have been touring now for a while with the album, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of it. You've got the one side of the album that has all of your past hits, and then the other side is the new music to show it's been 40 years, but you're still going forward. And how's the tour been going? You guys are doing like 200 gigs, 200 concerts a year, and you travel all through Europe.
Well, yeah, we have. We're just fixing to go back to do our second leg of Europe this year.
Wow!
And then in January, we're actually going to Singapore and to India and Sri Lanka.
Wow!
And then back through Europe.
How incredible is that?
It's going to end up being pretty much a world covering the world there.
And then so you'll be ready for the new album then next year, right?
Yeah.
To start the next tour.
Yeah.
Which we're working on that too already.
Well, now let's, you know, looking back at the history, you know, originally, you know, in the early days, Howard, you were managing Jim Stafford also. So,
Yeah, yes.
You know, as the road manager and roomie, you know, and last time we talked, you know, you guys got your start as the band from the money you made from I Don't Like Spiders and Snakes, right?
Yeah.
And so how did it work out being...
That and a little garden we grew in Florida.
So, you know, any good stories about, you know, Jim Stafford you can share? Because, you know, last time we were talking about, you know, Gallagher as your roommate.
Well, most of them I can't share, but the really good ones.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jim had this, he did have an incredible image. I don't know if you've ever seen him live in concert.
Yes, I have.
But he's like one of the most incredible guitar players ever. I got to sit in a room with him, Jerry Reed and Chet Atkins one time, and behind backstage in the opera, and watching those three, and he could hold his own with anybody guitar-wise. He just was incredible. And but Jim and I traveled for almost 3 years, just him and me. And the reason I took this job is he and Gallagher had that job previously to me.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
And he and Gallagher both being comedians, and they had this love-hate thing going on, you know. And most comedians do. And I spent most of my time in the early days separating these two.
Oh, my goodness.
But there are a lot of great stories. I could really bust him and tell you a great one, but I just won't do that to you, Jim.
Yeah, that's right. You got to keep the relationship.
There you go.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier too that, you know, whenever you guys are off the road, which isn't very often, that you're still working on the ranch and there's a little bit of fence to build. You guys don't do the tractor races or anything anymore when you go
The
home.
tractor's got air conditioning now.
Yeah.
It's just,
You guys
it's
are
a
like
new
high
day.
tech now. It
Yeah,
is.
Oh yeah, we're.
Yeah, mowing the fields ain't what it used to
No,
be.
it's not. You're not out there sweating and
No,
everything. You don't have to crank the
no
tractor.
mosquitoes. fence.
No, building fence is still pretty warm.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
You know, and that's work. I've done that.
You can't modernize that job.
You can't. You know, you still got to put down a railroad tie at the corner to anchor it.
Those corner posts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some. When I was in high school, I had a neighbor. His father had us building fence for a summer job, and he would come out and measure how deep our holes were.
Yeah.
And if they weren't deep enough, we had to keep digging.
Keep digging them, yeah.
And so is that the way you guys do too? You're out there like making sure.
Well, actually, the hole, there's a little drill on the back of the tractor. You can just
of the air conditioning tractor, so you don't have to use somebody. Yeah. Yeah, I was the auger.
It's nailing that. It's nailing that barbed wire.
That's shoulder surgery, thanks to digging post holes.
Yeah. But now you guys got the fancy setup to where it just drills the hole.
Yeah, you can drill a hole out pretty fast.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm going to make sure. We're going to talk with the Bellamy Brothers again when they come on next time. They've got a new guitar brand they're working with out of Canada. So David assures me they're going to have some new guitars to bring on when the next album comes out, right, Harold?
Absolutely.
So
and working on that.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, the work you guys are doing with Breast Cancer Awareness Month is just great, with the video, with the donations, with iTunes, also with the T-shirts. If you haven't picked up a copy yet, be sure and pick this up. 40 years. Great album, double album, and thanks to the Bellamy Brothers for coming on. Thanks for watching the Rockin' Review.
Thank you.